Hey everyone, Erin here from Relax Salon. Today I have Ryan with me. He's my son. Go ahead and look at the camera. I've been getting a lot of requests on how to do clipper cuts. So we're going to start off with the traditional boys cut. A lot of my boys cut are clipper cuts with a number 2 guard, going up to a number 3 and then scissor cut in. I realize not everyone has scissors, so I'll try to help you, give you a little tips and tricks on how to improvise, on how to make a decent looking boy's haircut during this time when a stylist can't be at work. So I'm going to start off with my number 2 guard. Change my mind. I'm going to start off with my number 3 guard, actually. 3/8 of an inch is what that is. I'm using the Babyliss clippers. Before that, I was using, oh gosh, drawing a blank here. They're super common. You can get them at Walmart. But it doesn't really matter what clipper you have. One thing I like is that it has an adjustable guard on this, adjustable, just an adjuster on the side. So you can go short, up as short, down as long, and that helps you get a little bit better blend. So if you have a light hand, don't press really hard, and then kind of pull out as you're going. That will help you to blend in as well. So I like to start off longer and work shorter. If you start off short and then you go too short, it's harder to fix. So I would say start off with your longer guard and then work shorter as you work down. Some kiddos like a really tight fade, and some like more of a line around their ears. So I'm gonna start off using my number 3, and I'm gonna have it on the longer setting, and I'm just gonna slightly just go in, really light-handed, go up around the ears. Some clipper sets have ear guard attachments. I've not used those before. I think it's so you can get a little bit tighter right around the ear. Just ignore that for now, because I think there's like a left ear, right ear. Don't be afraid to push ears aside. I'm just gonna go in, and as I'm going in, I'm just going up and pulling out. Ryan does have some wave to his hair, so it can make it a little harder to cut sometimes, but it's nice because it doesn't usually show a bunch of lines either. And that's a little more forgiving. I'm just gonna turn him here. You do wanna make sure that your clippers aren't super old, so that way your blades are nice and sharp. Otherwise they'll be pulling as well as kind of damage the hair. And on kids, you just want a nice quick cut that's painless. Men too. Trying to do this so you guys can see. Like he wants his top longer, so I'm gonna kind of just push that off to the side and hold it off to the side and just kind of go in. Work it from different angles so you can kind of see how the hair grows. I go opposite of that, and you can see I'm pulling out when I get up to here. Again, this is a number 3, so this is more what I'm going to be doing and blending in, and then I'm going to go back through with a 2 and maybe even a 1. I hope you guys can see this. Feel free, if you have any questions, to comment below. I'm not really worrying about right around here right now because I'm going to go back with another one. I'm just focusing more on this middle to top range. And again, I have this down, so if I were to move it up, it would move the blade and make it shorter. So I'm going to leave it down while I'm working up in here. And this is a number 3. Wall. That's the name, the brand. I think Walmart carries Wall. They're a good clipper too, so I would recommend $20, $30 is what you can spend on them, and they'll be decent. They will come with scissors. Some come with scissors. They're not quite the quality we use, but they will get you by in a pinch. Okay, I'm gonna go with my number 2. I'm not gonna worry about shortening it up quite yet. I'm gonna go with my number 2 guard right now. And I'm gonna leave that on the long setting as well. I'm just gonna kind of go back in, go shorter, right? Now this is when I'm gonna go around his ear, around the base of his hairline. And I'm kind of pulling out. If you have somebody with really fine hair, it's gonna be a little harder to get your blend in. But as long as you're pulling out, that will definitely help. And I suggest always starting down here and working up. I've known people that have used clippers before and aren't really certain of which guard that they've put on and gone right to the front and the top and gone way too short, and then I had to fix that. So if you start at the bottom area or down here and then work your way up, it's easier to fix. Now Ryan's hair grows, I don't know if you guys can see this, his hair grows in right here. So if I were to just go up, it wouldn't all catch it. I have to kind of go at different angles and come down and around to get those longer hairs. And just ask your kids to bend their neck. God made their necks to move. Some clippers, once you pop the guard off, if you're gonna go around the ear with your clippers, some can get a little hot. So just check, feel the blades before you pop your guard off and start cutting away. Okay, so that looks pretty good for his blend. Is your neck doing okay, bud? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, so that's that part. A little bit shading right here. I'm gonna fix that. Okay, so that is that. I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna go down to a 1.5 guard. Some, it depends on what you buy. Some go from a 2 to a 1, some have a half. Mine also has a 1.5. So I'm gonna pop that on. And I'm gonna put it on the shortest setting here now. I'm gonna lift my adjuster up and I'm gonna go right into his hairline, right here, and just trying to get a nicer, tighter, I like the boys really clean cut, so nice and tight in there. And work his little tail out there. And I'm going down against how the hair grows. There's that. And again, it grows down here, so and I'm just hitting around the ears, sideburn area, to clean that up a little bit. Don't be afraid again to push their ear forward. It'll be okay. Their ears bend. Okay. I also like to get these little hairs that are up along here too. Sometimes those can get scraggly and long, so just kind of take my clippers and push them out that way. All right, I'm just gonna blow you guys' hair off. Okay, now I have a little trimmers. They could work as beard trimmers too, but I'm gonna use this to go around his ear. Some people don't like any sideburns, so they block off, these are not running, they block off up here and go down. I like to have a little bit more of a fade, so I just kind of start slow and then pull up. That does take practice too. And then I typically go up around here and then go around the ear. So I'm just gonna do that now. And I'm just gonna do really light hands. Don't push hard. You don't wanna cut their skin. Their skin's really delicate around their ears. And they're just going at an angle here. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm just hitting the edge. I'm just using the very edge. Apologize, I'm using a tripod here to try to get this video. So now I'm just gonna kind of comb down and get those little side hairs, neck hairs, I guess. Just remember, you can always go shorter. You can't put it back on. So maybe practice with longer guards until you can get it to where you're more comfortable. I'm just pushing his ear out of the way to go around, and then I'm gonna just kind of lightly feather that up and go right up around his hairline there. Okay, so that's all for that. I am going to take, let's see, I'm not gonna worry about this blend here right now. I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting my top of his hair. He wants it left a little bit longer. I know kind of the style is to bring it down and over and back. He wants it left a little bit longer. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna use my scissors. If you don't have scissors, one way that you can do it without just buzzing right through is to put on a longer guard. I'm gonna pop on a number 5. Grab a comb here. And you can just hold the hair up and take your, you can see that, take your clippers with your guard and just go through the top and just take a little bit off. So you can go through the whole thing and do that a little bit at a time. That will also give it a much softer look versus if you have scissors, it can get really harsh. So, and then you have oops moments. So I'm just gonna blow dry the hair off again. Okay. And now I'm going to spray his hair. I like to work with it wet when I'm using my scissors, and I like it dry when I'm using my clippers. Now, everyone's hairline is a little bit different. So Ryan's hairline, look towards the camera, bud. Do you look back? His hairline is more, it kind of recedes back a little bit here. So if I were to just pull this all up and cut and then comb down, what's gonna happen is it's not gonna just lay straight across. So you have to really pay attention to the hairline. So sometimes I will go through as I'm cutting and leave this out right around there just to make sure that I don't cut into that hairline right away. So I'm gonna just kind of work through this. He doesn't want it super short, so I'm just gonna go through and take off about that much. If you don't have scissors and you're too nervous to put the guard on and just kind of pull some hair up, but you still want it a little bit longer on top, go with your longest guard that you have. That will help. At this point, I'm still not worried a bunch about my blend right there. Again, his hair is curly, it's pretty forgiving. So with that shorter to longer, it's okay to have, you can tell it's a little bit, it's not a harsh line, so it's okay that you're gonna be able to tell that it's a little longer. When I'm doing this, I'm connecting my shorter points to my longer and to the top. Okay. So now if I just comb this straight down, I took enough off it. That's a pretty good blend there. Over here, it's a pretty good blend as well. It is a little bit longer right here. Again, he's pretty spacey there and he wants it longer to go over to the side, so that's okay. We'll soften that up in just a little bit. I like to comb down. Oh, tangled up here. There we go. This way, I like to kind of comb down and just see if I see any harsh lines on his hair. I don't see anything. So now on Ryan, to get a little bit of a softer line on his forehead so it doesn't look like, I don't remember if it's Lloyd or Harry, I think, from Dumb and Dumber. Couldn't turn towards me, bud. Whoops, getting rowdy. I'm just gonna take this is a little razor. You can buy them on Amazon. And I'm gonna put tension on here. You wanna use a fresh blade. And I'm just gonna slowly pull some of that off, cut some of it off. He has curly hair. Again, pretty forgiving. And I'm gonna do the same on the other side. Come around here. Okay, so that's a little bit longer. If you remember when I first started with the top, I left out that hairline and then I pulled back here and started cutting. So what we're gonna do now is I'm just gonna pull the bangs up into that top and just kind of take off this little point here. And that's just joining the two together so you don't have a big gap and a space in there. Okay. Good deal. I'm gonna blow dry his hair now, and then I'll go back and see if there's anything that we need to tweak. Okay, Ryan's all dry. Again, he has curly wavy hair, so he is very forgiving. You don't see the lines as much on him. If you get done and you feel like, gosh, I like the length that it is here, but it looks too bulky. Some people have texturizing shears, thinning shears, blending shears, whatever you want to call them. They have teeth in them, so that's meant to just go and take out some of the bulk, so it's not quite as heavy right in there. So I'm gonna go through and I'm just gonna lift this up and just kind of go through that ridge, if you will, in here and just soften that a little bit for Ryan. I'm gonna go right around the whole thing, right around that spot from short to long. Also, if somebody has really thick hair on the top, you can go right through that and do that. I'm gonna kind of go in this area here. It's a little bit longer. There's still just a little bit of a peak right here that I don't love, so I'm gonna grab my razor again and just kind of pull off some of that. All right, now blow dry that off. I'm gonna use a pomade on Ryan. This is the Frenzy from Sexy Hair. With pomade, just put a little bit on your finger, put it into your hand, and rub it all over so you can't see where it is. You don't want to see it on your hand or you're going to see it in the hair. So once it's through there, I'm going to turn this way, bud. I'm just going to kind of go through. Just put it where I want it to be. And there's his haircut. If you have any questions, I know everyone is different. Everyone does hair a little bit differently. Feel free to comment below. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and thanks for watching.